What's up? How's it going? How we doing today? I got a little texture, little tapestry for the back wall. Now that I'm filming the videos in here, brought some more light in, right? Got the different webcam set up because apparently the Mac webcam is just like hot garbage, and I wanted to make the videos look nice. All right, so we're living that coronavirus life here in the US, man. You know that LA is taking it seriously when they close down the gyms. There's like there was this briefing, right? The mayor's office was like, we're closing down all the things. You know what? Let's see if I can find it, because it cracked me up now that I'm living that Angela, right? Okay, so it says bars and nightclubs, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Dine-in restaurants, that's a shame. I don't get my once a week brunch. Entertainment venues, movie theaters, yeah, whatever. I got Netflix. Gyms and fitness studios, no. So now I have to I'm taking one more day off to just process the feels, do the NF sleep thing, and then I have to actually figure out a workout routine to occupy myself. But it's also raining, so that I can't do as much outside. Anyway, those are my feelings about the coronavirus. But I'm happy you're here with me. We're gonna get into this. I'm very excited. So, in the wake of all of the cuckoo banana pantsness that is happening in the world, I wanted to talk about some terminology. I wanted to talk about we talk about tidal waves and freakouts and problems. And I want to revisit this like I'm revisiting a lot of these other concepts, because I think that the definition in the past 2 years, especially given just what Dave and Shan have seen from us, the community, right? Not just us, the Facebook group, but the people who are just in the class and not on Facebook, and talking to them, and just the growth that they have seen from people who are actually trying to take this shit seriously has changed their view on not just their own system, but I think people in general. And I think that's really sweet, because I think humans are wonderful. I just think they're the fucking best. I love them. I fucking love humans. So I wanted to revisit this topic because I think that a lot of the older videos are loaded with a lot of mishigas, a lot of feelings, a lot of dare I say, animosity and cynicism surrounding people and their capacity for growth and change and the difficulties they go through. I think their earlier definitions didn't give humans enough credit, and I want to set the record straight. So, problems versus freakouts versus tidal waves. Everybody has problems. Everybody has problems. That's just all of existence, right? Trees got problems. We have problems. Bugs have problems. If you are a sentient being, you have problems. You can be as alpha fucking fully actualized human as you want, and you're always gonna have problems in life, right? The goal always is to just fix the problem. And that's where I think that look, I don't love the terminology of alpha, whatever. But to the extent that I'm going to buy into it for a second, I think that if we have to make the binary of alpha versus non-alpha at scale, spectrum, whatever, the people who you really respect and admire consistently just deal with the problem. They just deal with the problem. My favorite tropes, there's a website called TV Tropes, and basically codifies all of the tropes that exist in storytelling of any medium, and all the patterns and all the connections. And my, my savior NI is like, oh my God, it's his candy. It's amazing. So there's a trope on there called reasonable authority figure, and it's my favorite trope. It is my favorite trope. I want to see if I can find like the quote at the top. Okay, here we go. Right, it's the governor says, "Parasitic aliens are invading Earth, and my husband is controlled by one." Yeah, basically that's the story. Oh, thank God. I was beginning to think something much, much worse was happening. Aliens we can fight. And I'm like, yes! Like, that's my shit. Like, that is so the energy that I want to bring into every situation, right? And it's like when I don't use that exact example in my head, but I think to myself, I'm like, all right, parasitic aliens are invading Earth and people are freaking out about it. I want my first impulse to be, wait a minute, is the Alien Defense Federation, are they out of commission? What's wrong with them? Oh no, they're fine. Oh, okay, well then we're good. The Alien Defense Federation will take care of it. They'll stop the parasitic aliens. When something worse happens, they'll let us know. Delightful. How's your coffee? Like, that's how I want to go through life, because that's solution oriented. That's dealing with the actual problem, right? And built into that premise of the Alien Defense Federation, right? Like, is the fact that it exists. It's not a problem because we have a task force designed to kill the aliens, right? Like, we're good. It's fine. The aliens want to nuke us. We have anti-nuke weapons to shoot the nukes out of the air. Like, it's fine. And in that instance, the problem very specifically is the aliens, right? Where people go off the rails, and I have done this myself oh so many times, have done it before, will do it again, is when you start to get into freak out territory, right? Because now we are in anxiety mode, right? Now it's like, oh, fuck, aliens, we're getting ourselves worked up. And sometimes, occasionally, I acknowledge that is helpful, and there can be utility in that sometimes, not often. I don't think that anxiety and like working yourself up about something is always the most productive default solution, right? It tends to be more effective, in my observation and experience, to go, okay, what is the actual problem? Oh, the actual problem is that our Alien Defense Federation sucks. That, like, it's not a good entity. It doesn't do its job. Okay, that is a deeper, that is a concrete it's not just like, I'm worried about aliens. Okay, why are we worried about aliens? What is the actual problem that is happening? And I say problem in a vague way because it may be a logic problem. It may be a block building, the logical process for how we evaluate alien invasions with laser nukes doesn't work for everybody, right? It only works for a small portion of the population. Okay, that's a very concrete, thinkery, logicy problem, right? There's the other problem of anytime this happens, the Defense Federation commandeers the airwaves and incites mass hysteria, right? Now we're dealing with like a feelery emotional value type problem, right? Or maybe it's just that they don't gather enough data, right? Or they don't organize the data in like a clean enough way, so they can't actually get their shit together and have a practical solution for the, for the alien invasion, that's a sensor problem, right? That's like a data sensory physical items problem. Or maybe their plan just sucks. Maybe they're like, all right, we have assessed the situation. We've organized the data, we've collected the data, we have assessed this threat, and we've decided that nukes are fine. Nukes are fine. You're like, how are you connecting all of those dots to be like, nukes are fine, right? But in each one of those instances, that is just a problem. And problems, by their very nature, have solutions. The solution may not be readily apparent. You may not like the solution. The solution may work only for 70% of the people instead of 95% of the people, right? But like, problems by their definition have solutions. Freakouts do not. Freakouts, just, there's no direction to them, right? There's nothing organizing it. It's not stimulating anything really. It's like that video, the video of the two hamsters and they're running on the little disc around and around. And it's like, and the captain is like, Gavin, stop, you're just making it worse. And like the one mouse is running, then the other mouse starts running in the same direction. And then they start just like centripetal forcing themselves around the thing and they get launched off the disc. It's a hilarious video. You should check out the video. But that's what freakouts are. It's, instead of trying to minimize the severity of the problem, you're like, let's explore in the greatest depth and detail possible how to like heighten this thing. And if I can go out on a limb for a second, I feel like I am partly to blame. I feel like I am partly to blame for this. I don't mean me, Raja Burrows, specifically. I mean that the industry that I have chosen to devote my existence to, which is entertainment and media, we do a really shitty job of showing people how to be calm. Because the rule, especially as somebody who works in comedy, we're fucking awful at modeling good behavior, right? And we can debate all day as to whether or not that's our job, but let's be clear, we're terrible at it. I've been working my way through the old Will and Grace, and I just see so many patterns of behavior that like Grace in particular. So what makes Will and Grace fun? I can put on my comedy. This is my comedy nerd hat because it says Los Angeles on it. If I can put on my comedy nerd hat for a second. So Will and Grace works because everyone's a foil to each other. So you can kind of throw any two people into a room and they will heighten each other's behavior, right? Will's complacency heightens Grace's freakouts and they will heighten each other's behavior, right? Will's complacency heightens Grace's freakouts, right? Like they play off of it. Now, obviously, some of the duos work better than others, and by the time you get to like season 3-ish, they're like, let's just not put Karen and Will in a room together. They're not fun together. They don't like each other on the show. I feel like they probably don't like each other in real life that much. Like, but you can tell like the chemistry is just off, and they don't heighten each other in a fun way, right? And that's what freakouts are, right? It's heightening the situation, whether or not it's useful to do so. And I think that we see in a lot of media, fictional characters with whom we are meant to relate, heightening situations when a calmer solution would just make it go away. And I think about this a lot in a lot of musicals that get written. And I'm going to say not all movies, but like a lot of movies. The problems only exist because of someone's inability to communicate, right? That's it. That's the whole reason it's a problem. right? Which is why, weirdly, I like teen movies so much, even as like I like them as an adult because I can see myself through the teacher's eyes, and it's a lot of fun to be like, oh, right. So like that, there's a fun in that, but also I like teen movies because it's the one situation where you're like, how can we like have relatively immature humans who have some amount of responsibility and have to make some amount of decisions and have some amount of agency, but lack emotional intelligence? Yeah, high schoolers. High schoolers. Great. Fucking nailed it. We got it. It's just high schoolers, right? So I like that. I think that's fun and interesting to explore. Where I think it becomes, I don't want to say like toxic to humanity or whatever, but like where it can get problematic is when you see adults exhibiting this behavior and not getting checked on it in the world of the show. Because like Grace's anxiety and her freakouts to freak out with impunity. Like he just kind of is. Like people will like chide him a little bit and call him awkward and like make fun of him a little bit, but like he still gets to hang out with all, like he has the same group of friends. His friends aren't like, listen, Sheldon, your toxicity and arrogance is becoming problematic. And we just need you to not, we need a night off without you. And I know this hurt. I'm sorry, but like, it's just how it is, man. That doesn't happen. That's not like, you know, and it's certainly, if it does I haven't watched all of Big Bang, but like, if it does happen, it certainly doesn't inspire him to like change as a. If you feel you are someone who is prone to freakouts, just be cognizant of like whether or not you are seeing that behavior modeled in the world around you. It's not a big deal, but like it's a thing worth keeping in mind. It's something that I've had to become very cognizant of. And I'm now really, really careful. Not really, really careful, but I'm certainly careful about the media that I consume, whether it's on social media, whether it's news, television shows, whatever, that like I know that I can really crawl up my own asshole in a lot of ways, especially when it's very TE oriented. So I just make sure to like not put myself in a position to get worked up about that, right? Especially not in a savior state. Then you got the tidal waves. Tidal waves are necessarily tricky to spot, right? And certainly the first tidal wave, can't see it coming at all. You just can't. That's just part of human growth and development. And if you can see it, like let's say you're like so like I'm pretty balanced across the board. Like I have, like there's no one chunk of my lawn that I'm just ignoring. So I can see all of the lawn. God, I know I have a hose. There's a dry spot over there. The hose reaches. I just need to like stop watering this thing for a second to like let out a little more hose so I can make it over there, right? That's a very different problem than, oh, fuck. My hose is too short. Even if I wanted to go over there, I can't. Now I have to stop entirely and go to the store to get a new hose. Ah, Jesus, right? So like, but regardless, you will eventually, like by the time you hit your late teens, early 20s these days, that seems to be when it happens. You're going to have your first tidal wave of like, oh, fuck, I'm ignoring things. Huh. The faster you can train your brain to go, okay, very bad thing happened. Let me default to now doing kind of the opposite. Again, you don't want to get actually toxic. You don't want to get like, you know, it's not like, I was so nice, let me be shitty. Like, no, stop. What? Oh, well, I went to class every day and I got a C on the test. I guess I'll just skip class. Like, no, what? Stop. You're better than this, right? But I had a lot, especially in college, I had a lot of abstract freakouts and very NI-based freakouts as well. Again, because I'm an INTJ. And in my late teens, early 20s, I was very heady, abstract, like to the point of I wouldn't go on a second date with somebody because I wasn't sure if I wanted to marry them. Right? You're like, well, that's bananas. How did we get there? How did we get there? I remember, I can say this now, because she is married, she is engaged to a wonderful man. I wish her nothing but the best. She's a deeply, deeply wonderful human. But I remember there was this woman in college, maybe the most attractive woman who has ever been attracted. Like, this woman is like out of, like, you cannot believe how outrageously gorgeous this woman is, right? And I was like 20, she was into me, and I was not, I was like kind of chubby. I was a mess of a human, this long, shitty, it was bad. But for some reason, she was like, yeah, that's the D I want. And then she was going away for a semester for it was winter. And then she was going to be gone for like the first half, like for all of summer. And then she was gone again. But it was like a wonky time period, right? And in my mind, I was like, oh no, I was going out of town. She was, whatever. There was like a gap of time. And I was like, you know what? I don't know that I want to go on a single first date with this absurdly attractive woman who's also like fucking brilliant doctor woman too. Like, oh my God, just punt for days, right? I'm not going to go on a single date with her because I don't want to feel feelings for her and then have her go away for 6 months and have to maintain long distance feelings for this extraordinary woman I know. And you're like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? Right? And so that is an instance where like, and even she was like, what? Okay. Bye? I'm like, I look, what I was 20 and a hot mess. But like, my point is that like stuff like that eventually caught up to me. And because I'm a glass lizard, because I'm sort of in all the different quadrants, I was able to like start to work on the NF and rob for like, again, I'm incredibly fortunate that I can robbing from my lead NT to work on my last NF. It's an easier jump. Right? Working on my demon masculine SE is not the end of the world because it's double activated. So like I can do a lot of play and still kind of work that muscle, right? And my consume is third, so it's not the work, right? So like there's a lot, right, that I can do around, the different quadrants. But like I would encourage you, if something big happens and you just get like totally taken out, dismantled, everything I know is a lie. Step one, just start walking in the opposite direction. Pick a thing that you like, pick any personality, whatever, right? It's like, I know that I'm real logical and I like abstract things, right? Like kind of nerdy shit. Okay, great. Just fucking start going to the gym. Just do SF bullshit, right? And the goal is not to get great at your demons immediately. It's just to like meet them because they are harbingers of tidal waves. And I want to end with this one because I don't want to get this video to get too long. The reason that your demons are so goddamn useful. And again, I do not subscribe to the thought of like your saviors or the enemy only right? Like no, your saviors are really fucking useful because you're good at them. And if you can find a way to use them productively and have other people fill in some of the gaps, like that just gets you through the day, right? But your demons are like, they're the canary in the coal mine, right? They're the ones who are going to go, hey, friend, so I got some intel, and I don't know how to tell you this. You're kind of being a moron right now. Like, why are you not going all in on the most amazing woman you have met? Like, what is wrong with you? How are you not? What? Can you just like SF for a second? I beg of you, stop trying to NT abstract organize everything and just fucking go for it. I swear to God, it'll work out later. You will work it out later. You're fine. But holy fuck, man. Like, just masculine sensory for a minute. I promise you will feel better, right? That's what your demons are good for. And I'm going to do another video, honestly, maybe even later today, because what else am I going to do being stuck at home? But like, the short version is your demon awareness is what minimizes tidal waves, right? Whether or not you do anything about it, that's a whole other issue. Like, you may still get taken out by a tidal wave because tidal waves are big and they're scary and they're hard to deal with. And if you don't have practice dealing with smaller waves and whatever, right? But the very, very short version is like, at first, your demons are your enemy. Then they are your frenemy. Then they are your friend. Then they are your ally. And then they are your partner, right? And it's never going to be perfect, right? You're always going to go sort of, again, you're always going to be rolling with the homies. That's just how it works, man. You're rolling with the homies. But what you want to do is you want to eventually know what you're aiming for and to be like, okay, demons, I know for sure that I want you on my side rather than against me. Because if you're against me, then we're fucked, right? Then I just get screwed because you'll just not tell me shit, and that's bad, right? And then you know, the more you hang out with your demons, befriend them, have tea parties, buy them pizza, just chill with your demons and actually get to know them. The more you're like, oh shit, we really do make a good team. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. Come on over. Yeah, doors wide open. Gates open. Come on in. You know, and then you can start to really make a lot of big changes in your life because now your demons are pinging in ways that you, without them, wouldn't be aware of. And eventually you'll get to the point where your demons are like, okay, hi, problem. And then your saviors will come to the rescue, right? Your demons just need practice sort of throwing up the flag, right? And then eventually, as your demons get stronger and stronger, they're like, yeah, I can take care of little problems. But this is a bigger problem that you actually need your big savior muscles for. Like, this is a very large pickle jar, and I need you to open it for me, right? Then your saviors come in, and they open the big nuclear pickle jar, and then they just go back to hanging out, right? And I don't know, they drink Mai Tais on the beach and check their email, right? And then again, over time, your demons will be more and more adept at dealing with bigger problems until eventually there's a parity and you can relax your demons and use your saviors again, and then relax your saviors and use your demons. And you can have this back and forth balance without feeling like you're at the mercy of the world around you. All right. That's all I got for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. I can't wait to hang out with you for these next couple of weeks over the internet. Bye!